Om Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. In our Indian tradition, we have a lot of trust and belief on our symbols, on our Vedic sayings, etc. Mostly, our people believe about the luck and abundance very much. They used to think fate plays an important role in one's life, maybe called destiny, but we people always believe the fortune or luck. If we are fortunate, there will be abundance of wealth. If you are lucky, you will have abundance of wealth. These type of sentiment we are having from our ancient days itself. In this regard, so many gods are symbolized for this luck and abundance. It's not an ordinary description. It is an extraordinarily, we have to understand about all the deities of Hinduism, because each and every deity gives different kinds of boons. Let us understand in detailed way. It's not enough to describe in one video. Therefore, I made it to two parts. Now I am going to discuss luck and abundance first part. Before that, let us start prayer. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krut Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. The challenging task of compiling a systematic presentation of the innumerable auspicious symbols in present day Indian culture has, despite all its cornerstones and basic assumptions. These foundations result from historical process that have taken place in a land and are mostly consolidated around religious doctrines and established practical traditions. In fact, India's first Prime Minister and prominent independence activist Jawaharlal Nehru consistently prompted the unity in diversity outlook for his compatriots. Traditions and beliefs crossing over between states and ethnic groups being prime examples of such heterogeneous unity. It is therefore not a bold claim to make that these elements not only illustrate Indian culture but provide a strong bonding factor. The complex iconography, religious semiotics, and massive register of superstitions help to create solid links between Hindus, other national religious denominations, Northerners and Southerners, affluent citizens, and less too fortunate ones. Traditions and symbolic manifestation maintain, most importantly, links between the past and the present, religion and secular life, and legitimate superstition as an important part of everyone's daily habits. The pursuit of luck, abundance, and prosperity has always been an essential part of one's overall well being. The country's predominant religion, Hinduism, is full of references to fortune on par with many other spiritual principles found in scriptures and cultural traditions. Naturally, because of the same diversity, we emphasized above, the icons and symbols have a somewhat different significance by region or state, actual use, and historical period. It is also undeniable that some symbols are more inclusive in their adoption, such as the swastika, going even far beyond national borders. For better or worse, others are unique for Hindu practitioners. For example, Om. We need to be able to analyze both larger and abstract ideas and smaller gestures and symbols as their correlation and togetherness is a very essence of fortune as understood by Indian culture. This collection of conceptual, spoken, and graphical representations allow for its symbolic significance to link unconsciously for the locals between layers of knowledge, awareness, and behavior. From a popular murti to its prize mudra, one needs to be able to distinguish and appreciate a myriad of details. This secondary research piece aims to prepare a simplified schematic list of the essentials in symbolism related to luck and abundance. While reduced in volume and depth, it should still suffice to give a glimpse into an average Indian's mindset on the topic of lucky symbols and traditions. The subject matter carries implications beyond religious beliefs, state lines, and ethnic customs, and has influenced contemporary Indians in their lives, work, and favorite pastimes. Religion is fundamental. Most of the auspicious essentials have their deep roots in religion. Naturally, Hinduism is the most relevant and important faith system in the land. Still, Islam, Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism, Christianity, and others have also contributed to the subject through the centuries to various degrees. Almost inevitably, we should start with Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity and wealth. One of the most important deities, also known as Shri, is Vishnu's wife and divine energy. Together with Parvati and Saraswati, she forms the triad of great goddesses. Lakshmi is associated with fortune and wealth, even beauty and power. More than luck, she also stands for illusion and magic and is associated with the main pursuit of human life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Artha notably includes the pursuits of career and wealth, financial prosperity, and security. Therefore, Goddess Lakshmi is especially revered by those that seek abundance and a better turn of events. Hindu symbolism views her as the essential mother goddess, the supreme, and has given her over 70 names. Worshippers identify her in iconic representations by one of the main symbols traditionally associated with her red lotus, a shower of gold, elephant, owl, a peacock feather, or a kumbha. Graphical traditions sees Lakshmi sitting or standing almost always with a lotus. The mystical flower is a symbol of purity, above and beyond circumstances in which it has to grow. Prosperity, therefore, can be found despite difficulties. The elephants which accompany her are known as Gajalakshmi. They stand for strength, work, water, fertility, abundance, and prosperity. The occasional owl is a forewarning refrain from greed when wealth or knowledge has been attained. Shri is one of the Lakshmi's names. It is also a honorific term as well as a yantra used to worship the goddess of good fortune. The importance of Lakshmi extends to her several known manifestations. The Ashtalakshmi, the eight sources of wealth. While considered secondary appearances, the Ashtalakshmi helps us to understand the mother goddess's multiple dimensions. At least half of them are directly and explicitly related to luck and abundance. Adi Lakshmi helps believers achieve their goals, granting them the wealth they might need to do so. She is traditionally pictured with four hands, wearing gold jewelry, and sitting on a pink lotus. The mudras on two hands means fearlessness and blessings, while the lotus and the flag held in the other two hands for enlightenment and righteousness. Despite hardships and surrendering to the divine respectively. Dhanalakshmi. Dhanalakshmi translates literally as wealth Lakshmi, referring to monetary expressions of gold, prosperity, or other tangible riches. She is also associated with strength, courage, determination, and perseverance. Pictured with six hands, she has gold coins flowing from one palm, symbolizing the universe's wealth as an enabler for those who persevere in conquering the mind. Vijaya Lakshmi bestows success, teaching her accolades, hope, and inspiration in the process. A positive attitude is what brings us to victory in spiritual and any other sense. The other manifestations of Lakshmi are also related to fortune and abundance naturally. They include agricultural and animal wealth. Gajalakshmi is essential to farmers, fertility and parenthood, bravery and strength to overcome obstacles, to spiritual and material prosperity, and intellectual abundance, meaning the wisdom and knowledge to be mentally resilient. The Ashtalakshmi is always worshipped and illustrated as a group in temples, households, and elsewhere. The eight manifestations of Lakshmi: luck, health, prosperity, progeny, fertility, strength, knowledge, and power. Ganesha is also a god revered for his influence on people's luck. As one of the best known Hindu deities and the son of Parvati and Shiva, he is responsible for wisdom, foresight, and fortune. Also known as Ganapati, he is a master of ceremonies and often the first to be invoked at a prayer, letting in prosperity and fortunate new beginnings. Also, a remover of obstacles. Ganesha is celebrated Southeast Asia and wherever there might be an ethnic Indian minority abroad. Domestically, even Buddhists and Jains consider him an important deity, again of success and good fortune. Easily identified by an elephant head and a big belly, Ganesha has several arms. Elephants, as noted above, stand for strength and persistence, as well as water and fertility that ultimately bring abundance. Ganesha auxiliary symbols include the mouse, a bullhook, a dumpling, and even Om. There is another god of wealth in Hindu culture, Kubera. Kubera is the king god of the Indian Yakshas. For many Indians, he is a true lord of wealth, leading devotees to financial prosperity and stability. Kubera has a sizable body of followers to this day. At recent literature on Hindu mythology suggests that his place is mostly occupied by Ganesha, partly due to their association and functional overlapping. As a god of fortune and wisdom, Ganesha overshadows him in the hearts of most Hindus. Kubera is traditionally imagined as short and stout, wearing jewels and carrying a club along with a money bag. Other symbols include the lotus and pomegranate. Similar to the eight manifestations of Lakshmi, there are eight important auspicious signs closely related to Hinduism. The Ashtamangala includes symbolic attributes associated with numerous tantric deities and facilitates their teachings to mortals. These symbols stand for important spiritual qualities and are fixed ornaments of their iconic depiction. At one point, there was an earlier set of auspicious symbols used during ceremonies and various celebrations. Intended for more solemn occasions, they include a throne, the swastika, a hooked knot, a handprint, a vase of jewels, a pair of fish, a water flask, and a lidded bowl. The present day Ashtamangala includes a jeweled parasol, means sunshade, akin to a ritual canopy, signifies protection from harmful forces, illness, and bad luck. One may seek the auspices of Dharma under the parasol. A conch shell, considered a mystic symbol of eternity, it transcends the purely religious significance. Army leaders used to employ it for battle calls, while in Feng Shui, all shells stand for good luck. A treasure vase, symbolizing longevity, health, prosperity, wealth, and wisdom. The vase reminds of Lakshmi Kumbha, a victory banner. The flag initially stood for ancient Indian warfare, while the spiritual significance refers to Buddha's victory over the obstacles to enlightenment. These are pride, desire, disturbing emotions, and the fear of death. A chakra, meaning a wheel. Traditionally, this would be a dharma chakra, representing the dharma teaching and the Buddha himself. However, if Krishna might also be a Sudarshana chakra, the wheel of auspicious vision. The latter should have 108 edges and used by Krishna as a weapon of protection. Indeed, the chakras might even be substituted by a fly whip as one of the 8 symbols standing for the numerous tantric manifestations of Ashtamangala. Next, 2 golden fish stand for the fortune of all animate beings that fearlessly preserve in the endless cycle of samsara. There is no peril but success. The 2 fish also represent the sacred Indian rivers Ganges and Yamuna. An endless knot. An auspicious symbol of altogether includes several loops signifying love. And finally, a lotus. One of the main symbols of both Hinduism and Buddhism, as seen above, the lotus is a flower that stands for creation, beauty, purity, fertility, and surrender to the divine. Besides Lakshmi, the lotus is associated with the Creator, God Himself, and the Protector God. Nowadays, Om is worn as a symbol believers and non believers alike outside of India. And the context of Hindu culture as an amulet, lucky charm, or pendant, it is said to bring good luck and fortune to its possessors. Cultural appropriations is nothing new in Western society, but even India's urban youth wear it as a fashion statement without putting too much thought into the original spiritual meaning. One more familiar symbol standing for general auspiciousness is swastika. Revered since antiquity, it represents the overall distinctive spirit of Hindu culture. The swastika is right facing, means conducive to well being and symbolize prosperity, good luck, and the sun. On the other hand, the left facing version of the symbol is swastika and symbolizes night and Kali, the demon goddess of time, darkness, and death. They are therefore not to be mistaken. Chanting mantras is generally considered auspicious and helpful whether in a temple, at home, or before an important event. Almost must for those looking for wealth, luck, and prosperity. Mantras are directed to the respective deities. Example, the Lakshmi mantra. Mantras are said or chanted for a lucky number of repetitions, 11, 21, 51, 108 in the case of the latter. Between religion and superstition, there is a sizable yet flexible to the eye of an outsider group of concepts and practices that find certain justification in religious doctrines but are not formally defined within canonical literature or otherwise. Some of these symbolic ideas and traditions have been mentioned in tantric or historical texts but have already evolved into another system of interpretations of their original meaning. Most of these concepts should not be depreciated as mere superstitions, especially since they are organized according to specific internal rules. The pursuit of happiness is intrinsic to all humans as it is unceasing. Indians are also attempting and exploring ideas and behaviors that might make them feel more fortunate and blessed. Whether by trial and error or through tribal accord, cognitive patterns have led them to establish important notions. One of these is a practice of yajnas. Sacred Hindu texts have defined the above pursuits of all beings that are part of the Lord, His eternity and knowledge. The Vedas assert the importance of happiness and advise the faithful to perform yajnas to maintain or achieve such a state. The word yajna is vaguely defined as a performance for the pleasure of Vishnu to get acknowledgement for one's spiritual quest. Thus, yajna is a popular practice of worship or service to the Supreme Lord without a sufficiently detailed description in sacred literature. The two broad categories of yajnas are mentioned in the Vedas and Puranas, left largely to the individuals who choose to perform them. Some of these are to be practiced daily, others less often, on a special occasions, or even once in a lifetime. Yajnas typically entail offerings to the gods. A fire as a centerpiece and selected mantras to be repeated. Socially recognized or self proclaimed spiritual leaders help the devotees choose these particulars, such as the wood to be burnt or the herbs and powders to throw in the fire. Naturally, the offerings are also crucial. Example, grains, fruit, objects, and the time and place of the yajna. The fortunes that some believers invoke are more spiritual, personal, emotional. Others seek divine support in finding the right piece of land, acquiring property, or improving their material quality of life. In any case, all of the auspicious yajnas are considered very sensitive to liming, preparation, and disposition. Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra translates as a science of architecture. It's a heterogeneous body of text on traditional Indian design, interior, exterior, and structure, which remains of the Feng Shui, more familiar in the West. This ancient Indian geomancy has some well established principles on ground preparation, structure, layout, and design, measurements, and space management. Vastu Shastra covers the layout of residential buildings and gardens, towns and roads, shops, utility structures, and other public areas. To this day, it is considered beneficial, enabling its practitioners to align buildings, objects, and surrounding space to certain magnetic axes for overall growth, peace, and happiness. The Vastu Shastra, along with lucky charms and various personal amulets, is hugely popular in contemporary India, seen around workplaces and households, just as the Feng Shui, the Vastu Shastra is commonly followed to arrange personal, family, or workspace, including external additions like small idols, lucky stones, and much else. Then there are the errors and defects of incorrect Vastu Shastra applications when all the potential benefits are unattainable and destiny is running in an undesired direction. It is said that some defects need to be eradicated, adding positive thinking and improved awareness about the entire geomancy system. श्रेयकांताय कल्याण निधे निधेद्रां श्री वेंकटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाशासनप्रायर्मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यै सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम्.